The first time I danced with a girl, she leaned in close and asked, "Why are your arms so stiff? Dancing with you is like dancing with a mannequin. If a mannequin were made super bony and with very sweaty palms." And to be fair, my palms were very sweaty and simultaneously ice cold. I was and continue to be a miracle of physics. This may be part of why I spent my teenage years absolutely failing with women. In middle school, I would ask girls that I liked how much they weighed to see if I would maybe weigh more. Numbers excited me. I loved math, and I used to think that maybe this meant everyone else loved math too. In high school, I became intimate with the friend zone. With this one girl, I spent so many years in the friend zone, I didn't even realize I was in it. I would come over to her house and help her with calculus, and I would comfort her and tell her how beautiful she was, how her boyfriend was a dick, or how integrals were related to derivatives.
For the longest time, I haven't been able to cry. Watching movies, tears start to come. The tears, they start to come, but I don't cry. When we crashed into a telephone pole, my father yelled at me not to cry. When the dog bit me on the leg, I couldn't cry. I couldn't cry because men don't cry.
Eventually, I spent so much time in the friend zone that I actually kind of thought of it as this magical home away from home, this lush forest with unicorns and elves and puppies, none of whom were getting laid. I was on an adventure. Constantly, I would be uncovering these questions like, are you in the friend zone if she's sleeping with other people and not telling you about it? Are you in the friend zone if they tell you that they actually could see marrying you in 15 years? But why marry me in 15 years if in 15 years I'll still be a virgin because you didn't sleep with me? A few months after my first girlfriend and I broke up, I heard that she lost her virginity to the next guy she dated. And at first I thought of this as betrayal, not her choice, as if she had owed me something.
But man, I'd cry. And it's a lie that I wouldn't. I would embrace my brother. We would pray shoulder to shoulder. I would kneel and kiss the earth. And I'd cry. If only I could cry. I want to fill every hole in my heart with glimmering tear pools. I want to fill my kitchen sink with tears. Just thinking about me not crying all those years makes me want to cry, but I've been taught not to cry. Fooling nobody but myself and not crying, step aside because I am going to cry. I will cry until my shirt is drenched and my hands are shimmering wet with tears running down my cheeks and breast and legs, and you are going to have to stare at me because I am drowning your manly ways in my tears. Oh, how we have fooled ourselves thinking that men don't cry.
A newspaper defined the friend zone as follows. She discusses her love life with him and has the audacity to expect advice from him. He performs favors for her and does everything a boyfriend would do, but without the benefits. As if the only reason to be a good friend or a decent fucking human is to expect something in exchange. And the problem was, I started thinking of myself as the savior, but I was thinking of myself as this savior with a salary. You put in hours as a nice guy and expect sex as an exchange, but sex is not a transaction. Sex is not a handshake to seal some sort of deal. She did not owe me anything.
Goodbyes were crying events. Goodbye to my grandmother, the boys in my neighborhood, my teachers, my brother. And I never shed a tear. Though I felt them coming up in me, I grit my teeth, I looked away, and I thought about something else. I kept hearing voices in me telling me, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, boys, don't cry, you'll be hurting yourself if you cry, you'll be a sissy, you'll be a puto, you leave yourself open, you become liable to get an axe in your heart by some non-crying fool, you hurt yourself if you cry, I hurt when I didn't cry. All those years, ashamed to cry in front of other people, fearful of what they might think, afraid that I would be less than a man.
Last year I heard that her home was broken into in a neighborhood known for sexual assaults. Nothing happened to her. We all know the statistics. Your rapist is more likely to be someone that you know, rather than the boogeyman or a stranger in the alley who is real, but not as real as we are. We all know the statistics, but we don't know how to accept how easily we can become a part of the problem.
Whole groups of us are tragic news, and no one cries. But it ain't right. No, we need to weep. We need to wake up in the middle of the night and cry to cleanse our goodbyes and apathy. Papas need to cry for their children. Children need to cry in my arms. Men need to cry in my arms. Endurance, cry in my arms. Let us all cry after lovemaking and fighting.
You cannot kill a monster until you are willing to look at it in the mirror, until you can recognize its shape in your own skin.
Let us make cry a language out of sniffles and snobs. Cry for me, my crybaby. Cry out louder. Cry! Cry! Cry.